that the Raider Nation should know about?
I got two guys. Considering Reggie McKenzie got 4 extra 6th-round picks.
That's
two guys that might be there. And they're not surprisingly, they're going to be linebackers.
Wait, before you go mention them, we got 6 compensatory picks, right? But we already had 2 already on top of that. Am I right?
Right. We had 2 6th-round picks coming in. We got 4 more as compensatory picks. So Reggie's going to have 6 overall to play with in that round.
Wow, that's Reggie's time to shine, huh? We had Shalom Luani and what's his name for the defensive lineman?
Do you think Gruden and Reggie McKenzie and that do rock paper scissors to see who gets each round?
You know what? I was asked that question, and I will go with this scenario. Gruden gets the first round, and then McKenzie gets the rest.
Yeah. Do you know what? I really hope we get some studs this year. We really need to improve in certain areas this year to really fight for the obviously the AFC West and the playoffs. Really, It was such a disappointing season last year. I mean, I stayed up till late. Obviously, in the UK, staying up till 5:30, 6 o'clock sometimes just to watch the games, and the next day it was so miserable, so miserable.
You're a trooper, man. All right, Ray. So, who are the linebacker prospects you got in mind?
2 of them. One is from North Dakota State University, Nick DeLuca. He's a Greg Beaker type, intelligent linebacker. He's not gonna, impress you with physical numbers, but he's a guy that can man that middle linebacker role. The other is Roland Jones out of Arkansas State. He's more of a rush linebacker, but he's built a lot like Derek Burgess, and we remember Derek, what he did for a while in Oakland as a defensive end. Yeah,
because he's actually Roland Jones. He's actually listed on some sites as an edge, some on as linebacker. So he's kind of a bit of both, isn't he?
He's a tweener.
Yeah. It's good to have these guys, though, who can do dual roles. I've spoken about it before. Gruden does like these players who can do multiple tasks on his team.
I'm glad you mentioned the linebackers, Ray, because I really doubt that Gunther and McKenzie will go after a round 1 linebacker because they just think the value isn't there at round 1, and they think you can get a guy from your D3 school and plug him in. So Raider Nation is going to be disappointed, but I really think that's what's going to happen.
You've seen all the mock drafts. Every single mock draft on the NFL everywhere is Roquan Smith to the Raiders. Blah blah blah. It's like, no disrespect, but it's boring me now because as much as I like him as a prospect, I can't see it. I don't know why you would.
He's not going to shut down on one side of the field like a really good cornerback or edge rusher,
That's not our main problem. Our main problem is our secondary and defensive line. That is our problem at the moment. Linebacker, you can fix that in free agency. You can bring these veteran guys in. You've got Bowman there.
Right.
It's not like a major issue, but whereas the secondary is just so poor and the defensive line needs addressing, that's where you have to go there or go edge to help Mac.
And Nicholas Morrow, I think, could evolve into a really good will linebacker.
Yeah,
too.
he was very good last year, in my opinion.
And he got better, steadily got better as well.
Yeah, but don't forget, he didn't have loads of tools around him. It was kind of mismatched towards the end of the year, wasn't it? Like, there was people getting injured and obviously Bowman comes in as well, and he really steadied the ship. But if you take Morrow underneath Bowman's wing, hopefully he can develop him into a really good player.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree. You got to look at Mac and go, we need to get this guy some help. Whether that's another guy on the opposite end or a corner that can give him one more second to get to the quarterback, you got to give Mac some love because he's going to be the next $100 million Raider. And Carr's been given a ton of help. It's time to get Mac some help.
Yeah, the link between the secondary and the pass rush is massive. If you've got everyone covered, and that quarterback is struggling to find a target, then that gives him that extra second to get in there, maybe create a fumble, maybe, he'll get a sack, a strip sack. You've got to give your best player, arguably the best defensive player in the league, more opportunities, because he has been absolutely brilliant, but the sky's the limit for him if he gets that support around him.
Yeah, and he's being double teamed, triple teamed, and no one can get through in the defensive line. So you're absolutely right. So we're next week. When does the combine start? Actually, this Tuesday with the
27th.
27th. Yeah, that's this Tuesday with the weigh-ins and the medicals, which will tell us a lot about a lot of the players. But I can't wait till Friday when I think the defensive line or the running backs, the running backs that we really care about will hit the field, and it'll go through all weekend. We'll be joined by some couple of people in Indy next week, so that'd be fun. Ray, let you go. You're with your family, so I don't want to keep you too long. I know your kids are...
Awesome, I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, man. Really appreciate your insight.
Ray, before you go, I've got one question for you.
Yeah.
What's your take on Darius Geis?
I think he is... You know what? I wrote a profile on him for full press coverage, and I said in that profile, he's got everything but home run speed when compared to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Who do you think will have the better NFL career, if you had to call it now?
If I had to call it now, I would say Geis, because he's not going to end up on the Browns.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true. Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, Gavin's a big Geis fan. He wants to take Geis at number 10.
I would take him at 10. I'd take him anywhere, man, in that draft. He's just when a player just sticks out to you, and his story, his background, everything he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
He's just one of those players that I've been drawn to, and I just think that he would be absolutely brilliant behind our offensive line. I think he could be the successor to Lynch for me.
Right. I hear you. He's got the one thing that stands out more than on him than with Barkley is vision. Guys can see it. If he had that extra juice that Barkley has, he'd probably be the one. But you know what?
Yeah.
If he's got the vision behind our beast line, he'll be solid.
Yeah. Do you know what though? A lot of it is hype as well. A lot of these players get overhyped and over talked about. And they're good, but you don't know until they're playing in the NFL what they're going to do, because it's a total different level of the sport.
Yeah, you never know. That's why they have to do all these, tests and combines and all that just to get an idea. Even then, it doesn't work out. So it's not really a science. It's more of an art at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ray, thank you so much, man. Please plug your. Where do you write for? Plug your stuff before you go.
I write for Raider Ramble, of course, and then I also write for Full Press Coverage. Raiders there. Made the transition from Cover 32 on to over there. So catch my stuff when you can. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you coming on, Ray. I've known you for quite a while now, and it's a pleasure.
There you go. Hey, if I'm ever across the pond, I'm going to look for you, man.
Yeah, no, you should do, man. We'll go grab a beer.
There you go.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, well, thank you guys very much.
Take it easy.
Take care, mate. Okay, no problem.
All right, the Combine time, part 2 of our segment. I'm really excited, man. I've been waiting for the Combine for a long time. What about you?
Yes, it's that part of the season where you're just waiting for some, NFL news and actually to be able to watch something. There's not too much of a gap, but still, when you love NFL and you love the Raiders, it's enough of a gap.
Right after the Combine is free agency, and after free agency is when we really can go hard on the mock drafts, because you don't know what positions are being filled, where, who's getting a quarterback in free agency, so I do mock drafts, but it's really useless until free agency is well into.
See, that's the key point that you just said right there. Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
In this draft, I can see about 3 or 4 going early doors in the first round at the moment, but that depends on what happens in free agency, or if there's any trades, or so it's hard to really tell right now. I mean, obviously all the mock drafts are saying Rosen, etc., but you don't know until obviously you see who's signed who or traded for a quarterback, or so it's hard to really say at the moment.
All right, so let's just discuss the combine. The positions that the Raiders really need to discuss: top 2, cornerback and defensive end. Whatever order you want to put it. Let's start with cornerback. Which combine events do we want to focus on the cornerback? To me, if you look at other articles from experts, it's the 40 time, the 3-cone, and the shuttle. Now, the 40 time, obviously how fast you can run, right? It's not cornerbacks need to be fast. If the wide receiver is running a go route straight up the thing, you have to be able to keep up. Or if you fall for a fake, you have to be able to recover. 3-cone and shuttle, you need to move. If a quarterback's running an in and an out, you have to be able to keep up. So the shuttle measures how fast you can do that. The 3-cone measures how fast you can do that. How much bend you have, your movement skills are.
Yeah, shows off their elusiveness as well, the 3-cone drill.
Exactly. So what I did, Gavin, I made a list of all the great cornerbacks in the NFL. Actually, I did that for every position, right? So I took Jalen Ramsey, Marshawn Lattimore, William Jackson, Keith Talib, AJ Boye, and Chris Harris Jr., right? And I said, all right, all these guys are great. How do they measure in these areas? Arm length, 40 time, 3-cone, shuttle, and even vertical, because for shorter guys, vertical really matters. And I
of course that matters.
Yeah.
That matters in terms of obviously having to get up and pluck a ball or pat a ball away and
exactly.
Yeah, make a stop.
So all these guys, except for one, and I took out the lowest one in every position, just to give it, take out the outlier. Every cornerback was 6. Every one of those quarterbacks were 6 foot or higher, except Chris Harris Jr. So that's one of the things we want to look at. When the combine comes in, how tall are they? How much do they weigh? That matters too. And
of course it does.
So all the cornerbacks except AJ Boye weighed more than 189 pounds, so 190 or more. Arm length, at least 31 and a half inches in arm length. Only person that was less was Marshawn Lattimore in that list, with 31 and a quarter inch arm length.
Yeah, but he hasn't done half bad, has he?
No, not at all. Technique, he has a really good technique.
Yeah, that's it. It's all technique, man. Obviously you have to have the variables, but if you've got good technique, good understanding of the game, you can go far.
40 time, 4.48 was the slowest they ran, any of them, except for AJ Boye, who ran 4.55. But that's an outlier. So 4.48 or faster is what we want to look for if we want to have elite traits. 20-yard shuttle, which is you stand, you run 5 yards to the right, 10 yards to the left, and come back and run 5 yards and come back to the starting spot. Right? That's the 20-yard shuttle. You want to be faster than 4.22 seconds in that. Only person slower was William Jackson at 4.32 in that list. And vertical. Vertical, you want to jump at least 36 inches. So you want to be higher than 36 inches. Only person who didn't in that list was Chris Harris Jr., 34 inches. All right. And when I compiled this, I took the best out of the pro day and the combine, just to,
Yeah.
sometimes you're sick or and I went to, by the way, I got that from NFLDraftScout.com. They have all information, pro day and